Welcome back to Better Kansas City. So if you want to increase your range of motion, flexibility, or to reduce pain, you might need some help getting in a good stretch. I went to Lenexa Stretch Zone for some expert help. Now, if someone were getting an assessment, Kelly, what's the first thing that happens?
When they come into Stretch Zone, we put them on our table, have some time talking with them, and warm up their joints and muscles and take them through an assessment.
Okay, so we're feeling a little bit warm and we're gonna get ready to go.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna let Ty, our stretch practitioner, take you through some range of motion assessment.
So we just lie down?
Yes, just lie down, comfortable, breathe. Your job is just to relax.
Okay, and what does the movement that she's doing now, what does this either assess or what's it for?
So the first thing we're gonna assess is your hip range of motion. Right now she's looking at your right hip rotation. So you are gonna feel a little bit of tightness, a little bit of tension, a little bit of discomfort. We don't wanna stretch you to pain. We're trying to assess what your hip range of motion is right now.
This is probably a good point. Because I'm starting to feel something.
Yes.
How do we know if that's like technically tension or if you can go farther?
Yeah. So I would ask you, as soon as you feel anything in that right hip, let Ty know, because that's gonna be your stopping point. We're gonna stop at just a little bit of tension. Again, we're not stretching to pain here.
Okay, so we're at my point now.
Okay.
And this is probably something a lot of people deal with, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yes. Hip loss of range of motion is huge because it can also cause low back pain. So that's why we look at this first, because a lot of people come to us saying that they have just a discomfort, a tightness.
I have that too.
Back. You have it.
Lower
See,
back. Yeah,
you're at the right place. So she's checking your range of motion here. So what she just showed us, you should have 90 degrees of hip rotation.
And
so
I
show
didn't.
her again where. So 90 degrees of hip rotation would be, she could rotate your hip all the way to there. You're stopping with tension at about 45 to 50 degrees. So that would be something that we would focus your stretching on, is increasing that range of motion and flexibility.
What about for the hamstring?
Again, we're gonna assess your hamstring length here. We wanna be able to get your hip to 90 degrees. Ty, show her where 90 degrees would be. So without any tension, we would like you to be able to get to 90 degrees. Most people can't do that. Are you starting to feel a little tension in the back of your leg? A little tightness?
It's starting to feel.
So that's your tension point. We're gonna stop there at just the point where you feel some tension.
Well, Kelly said that they work mostly with everyday people and they do work through goals if people have them. Coming up, we take a look at one of the biggest issues people come in to get help with. Welcome back. So most of the people who come to Lenexa Stretch Zone are regular people, not athletes or dancers. Their flexibility may be limited, so they can't even tie their shoes or reach down to pick up their kids or turn to clear lanes while driving. But stretching can help with all of those rotation issues. So right now we are working on my rotation issues. And Kelly, why is this so important? And can you explain these straps? Because maybe people at home don't understand.
Right. So the straps are a part of the proprietary system that we use at Stretch Zone. The straps allow us to stabilize your pelvis so we can isolate the specific muscles that we're trying to stretch.
So this is why I'm strapped in here.
Yes.
It's all for muscle isolation.
Exactly.
Now, we're gonna get to it with Ty, but how does that actually work to isolate the muscles?
So we've got your pelvis isolated here so you can't rotate. So we're gonna take you through a rotation stretch here that's gonna help with the muscles all up and down your spine. As we age, we lose rotation in our body, and it's such an important motion. Rotation helps us turn our head. It helps us reach to get things in all different directions. And as we lose that rotation, those muscles get tight and we need to restore the movement. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, and this is something I think I even notice if I'm reaching around the back of the car, like turning my head to do something. Is this something like, how many times would you recommend doing this sort of stretching a week?
We like to have people come in and stretch with us at least twice a week. That is ideal. Then in addition to what they're doing at home, we can really help them meet their goals here.
Okay, well since I'm kind of strapped in, I think I got like one stretch that I can do here. Let me ask, is my shoulder supposed to stay to the bed?
Yes,
this
that side is supposed
okay.
to stay down, and the other side is rotating as the stretch practitioner helps you through that motion.
Okay, well let's give this a go one more time. And, you know, have you noticed some really good success with people if they stay with their plans?
Absolutely. You know what? A lot of people are telling us their golf game is better, they're sleeping better. Just
Gets
because
me right here.
does it? Yeah, getting some good rotation there. So yes, we have noticed a lot of people telling us that they're meeting their goals with stretching.
Well, and Kelly said that you could also work on stretching those muscles at home by sort of gripping a table and then bringing your body across. You'd again want to just get in that rotator cuff area. In just a bit, we're going to look at stretching to help with lower back pain. Okay, so listen up. If you are experiencing pain, stiffness, or poor circulation, you are not alone.
The good news, the relief could just be a few stretches away.
I like those moves, Bill.
You like that?
Kelly from Stretch Zone shows us moves to increase blood flow and relieve those aches and pains. So I'm experiencing some stiffness in my lower back, and that is something so common with people. So what stretches have you prepared for that?
Yes, let me show you a couple of great stretches here that focus on low back stiffness. So we're going to start with stretching your glute, the muscle close to your back and your rear end. So
how does that all work out, right? Like this is actually connected to your back?
It's all a part of your pelvis. So everything's attached to your pelvis back there, which your pelvis is the bottom of it's your low back. You know, so you think hip and back, but it's really all attached to your pelvis. So we're stretching your glute here, which is a muscle that very, very few people stretch. So we stretch your glute. You're also getting, she's going to show you, you feel that low back, rear end area deep in your hip. And then she's also going to give you a little hip rotation, which is the muscles under the glutes. So we're getting even deeper in a stretch there. And then we take the glute and the hip rotators and we put it all together in a stretch. So all of this is going to affect increasing the way the pelvis and the hip are moving to help decrease the stiffness in your back.
So Kelly, I'm definitely like feeling some relief here, but you know, why do you think it is that we might think about doing cardio and weights, but we don't always think to stretch?
Right. Stretching is kind of the part of everybody's workout program that they're leaving out. You know, you're so focused on getting to the gym and doing your cardio and doing your weights, and then you gotta go because you're out of time. No, we're not stretching enough. And stretching is what's gonna improve your circulation and your range of motion and your flexibility and decrease your stiffness. So there's so many benefits to the part that we're leaving out.
So thank you for walking me through that all first up, but you know, why does it actually help with the circulation? Because that's also something as people age, they really worry about.
Right. So movement increases blood flow. Blood flow is circulation. The more you're moving things, you're getting more circulation. When joints and muscles have more circulation and blood flow, they feel better. They just simply feel better. And then they move better.
Well, you can actually get a free stretch, an introductory stretch over at Stretch Zone. So I mean, I before have set like stretching as one of my intentions for the year, like as a New Year's resolution, this sort of thing. And it is one of those things that for me, it's harder to keep up on. Do you stretch a lot, Bill?
No, but you know, you were mentioning you had lots of pains that stretching can deal with. Is there any stretches that I can deal with all the pains in my rear end that I have in my life?
It was the one we just
the
saw,
glute stretch?
It was literally the glute stretch.
I should have got that. All right.
That is the biggest muscle in your body, so it is important to stretch it.
Got to stretch out the big one, right? All right, well, hey.